Imagine this. A young man hustling through the chaotic grind of stand-up comedy, barely making ends meet, performing in dingy clubs to tiny audiences. That same man, decades later, would become the voice of the UFC, host of the world's most famous podcast, and the mastermind behind a comedy empire. Joe Rogan isn't just a comedian, a UFC commentator, or even just a podcaster. He's a phenomenon. From cracking jokes in smoky comedy clubs to sitting across from Elon Musk with a cigar in hand, Rogan's journey is anything but ordinary. But here's the thing about Rogan. He's curious, unfiltered, and unapologetically himself. A man who made millions simply by asking, what if? Let's rewind to 1997. Rogan lands a gig with the UFC as a backstage interviewer, a side job he took just because he loved martial arts. Fast forward a few years, and he becomes the voice of the octagon. From calling brutal knockouts to breaking down the most technical moves in real time, Rogan redefined what it means to be a commentator. Fighters didn't just respect him, they trusted him. Why? Because Rogan wasn't just a commentator. He was one of them, a martial artist with a black belt in jiu-jitsu and years of training under his belt. But Rogan's story didn't stop at fight nights. Enter the Joe Rogan Experience.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Stop train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
What started in 2009 as a casual podcast with a buddy of his turned into an empire. Today, with over 2,000 episodes and millions of listeners, Rogan has built a platform where curiosity reigns supreme. He's spoken with astronauts, scientists, comedians, athletes, and extraordinary figures. Love him or hate him, you're listening because Rogan has an uncanny ability to pull the unexpected out of anyone. And then there's the money. According to reports, Spotify shelled out a whopping $200 million for his podcast. Sure, we don't have access to his actual bank statements, but what's undeniable is this. Rogan turned curiosity into cash. But Rogan's not just building wealth, he's building legacies. Enter the comedy mothership in Austin, Texas. Rogan's Comedy Club isn't just a venue, it's a sanctuary, a neon-lit haven where rising comics share the stage with legends. Rogan calls it the Disneyland for stand-up comedians. And yet, for all his success, Rogan's career hasn't been without controversy. Rogan's unfiltered approach often walks the line between brilliance and chaos. But that's the thing about Rogan, he thrives in the chaos. Whether it's breaking down a head-kick KO, discussing quantum physics, or launching into an impassioned rant about elk meat, Rogan is unapologetically Rogan. So, how did a comedian with no formal training become one of the most influential voices of our time? Simple. He stayed curious. Joe Rogan isn't just living the dream, he's building it. One fight, one podcast, and one big idea at a time. Because if there's one thing Rogan's life teaches us, it's this: you don't have to follow the rules to change the game.